Well, good morning, everybody. It is Monday, and good to be with you on this fine day. It is September 13th, so we're pretty close to the midweek, or I'm sorry, mid-month mark for September. And man, it seems like we just started and we're already about halfway through. And so I want to encourage you. We had a great time with our missions conference yesterday. And if you were not able to make it, I would encourage you to come tonight. We've got another missionary coming this evening, and that service will be at 6 o'clock. And so I encourage you to come on out, meet the missionary, get to know them. And we had a great start yesterday, being challenged in the area of missions personally, giving to missions, supporting missions, praying for missions. And it was a good day yesterday. I want to thank everybody. We had a meal together as a church family following that morning service. I want to thank everybody who had a part in that. Yeah, and thank all of you for just making things, cleaning up, setting up, decorating. Just a wonderful job there. We had a wonderful time, fellowship, and getting to know our missionaries. And so, thank you so much for that. Now, service tonight, 6 o'clock. Hope to see you here. Also, got a couple other events that are coming up. We got a Bible quiz meet coming up that first weekend in October. We got revival services coming up that first week of October. We've got Harvest Fest for the teenagers. It is just a busy time. Be a part of everything as you have opportunity. We've got Trunk or Treat at the end of October. We're talking about and getting ready for that. And we need some help with that as well. And so if you'd like to help, please let me know. Contact me. That'll be great. I just saw had a squirrel outside my window. We've had a squirrel in the church here for I heard it this morning and got it kind of trapped. Opened the door. Hopefully it's out, but just walked by my window. So hopefully we get it out of here. But anyway, pray for me on that. I don't do well with critters indoors, and so pray for me on that one. All right, here we go. We're going to be in Psalm 141 today. Hope you can join me there. Psalm 141. And we'll walk through this. And once again, we find the psalmist too, the psalmist being David. He's having some trouble, some difficulty, and he comes to the Lord again, crying out to him. And as we've probably read through now these 141 Psalms, maybe you're thinking, wow, we seem to hear this a lot from David throughout the Psalms. It's oftentimes individuals praying, seeking God's help, God's deliverance. And let me tell you something. In our life, that's the way it is. In our life, it's not a cakewalk. It's not always easy. And so we need that. We need somebody that we can go to, somebody who's got the answer, somebody who's got the problem-solving skills and the power to get us through it, and that's God. And so I hope that you frequent the throne of grace, asking the Lord to help you in life situations. That's what the psalmists do, and I would encourage you to do so as well. Now, here we go. Psalm 141. Go with me to verse number 1. The Bible says, Lord, I cry unto thee. There you go. Once again, that crying out to the Lord. He says, make haste unto me. Give ear unto my voice when I cry unto thee. Let my prayer be set forth before thee as incense, and the lifting up my hands as the evening sacrifices. So, David, God, hear my prayer. God, I need you. God, please listen to my petition here. And then we get into verse number 3 here. We get into what it is that the psalmist, that David needs help with. Verse number 3. Set a watch, O Lord, before my mouth. Keep the door of my lips. Incline not mine heart to any evil thing, to practice wicked works with men that work iniquity, and let me not eat of their dainties. Let the righteous smite me. It shall be a kindness, and let him reprove me. It shall be an excellent oil which shall not break my head. For yet my prayer also shall be in their calamities. When their judges are overthrown in stony places, they shall hear my words, for they are sweet. Our bones are scattered at the grave's mouth, as the one cutteth and cleaveth wood upon the earth. Now, here's what we've got here. In the early verses, in like verses 3, verse 4, maybe even in verse number 5, we see this internal temptation that David seems to be struggling with. He says, set a watch, O Lord, before my mouth, keep the door of my lips. God, uh, uh, God, help me. God, guard my lips, what comes out of my mouth. God, may it be pleasant, may it be edifying, may it not be that which tears down, breaks up, and makes matters worse. And so David says, hey, set a watch, O Lord, before my mouth. And then verse number 4, look at that where now he's saying, hey, God, I want to guard my mouth, but look where it starts. Verse number 4, incline not my heart to any evil thing. Where does that wicked speech, that perverted speech, maybe that negative speech come from? Man, it comes from the heart. And so what you fill your mind and your heart with is going to come out in your speech. He says, incline not my heart to any evil thing, to practice wicked works with the men that work iniquity, saying, God, help me overcome temptation. Temptation in my speech, temptation in that which I do. God, give me the victory. And then, very interesting, he says here, and let me not eat of their dainties. What dainties? The dainties of sin, the dainties that the temptation is. Let me share this with you. Temptation always looks good. If it didn't look good, it wouldn't be tempting. Temptation always looks good. And David here says, God, let me not eat of their dainties. Let me not partake of that which looks good, that may even taste good for a time. God, I don't want to be involved in that evil thing. I don't want my speech to be negative, to be evil, to be ungodly. God, guard my lips, guard my heart, is what David says. I don't want to partake of the dainties of that which looks good and may even taste good for a time. God, give me victory. And I hope that as you begin each day, and for myself as well, that the dainties of the temptation that are out there, that we would not, actually, I hope you begin each day. That's what I was saying. That I hope you begin each day saying, God, give me victory over temptation. God, help me not even to participate of the dainties, that which tastes good, smells good, feels good, whatever it might be. If it is wrong, it is wrong. And God, give me victory throughout the day. Hey, that should be a regular part of our prayer life each day. God, give me victory. Help me to overcome temptation. God, help me not to fall into sin. And then it continues down verses 5, 6, and 7 there. Just kind of, it says, let the righteous smite me. It shall be kindness. Let him reprove me. It shall be excellent oil, which shall not break my head. For yet my prayers also shall be in their calamities. Verse number 6, when their judges are overthrown in stony places, they shall hear my words, for they are sweet. See, once again, a reference to speech. Our bones are scattered at the grave's mouth, as when one cutteth and cleaveth wood upon the earth. And then we get into verse number 8 here. We kind of see just a going not from the internal temptations, if you will, the internal struggles that the psalmist deals with. And then it kind of gets into, in verse number 8, kind of the external, if you will. Look at verse number 8. But mine eyes are unto thee, O God, the Lord. In thee is my trust. Leave not my soul destitute. And so the psalmist here signifies the struggles that he is having with temptation, asking the Lord for victory. And then he says, God, I'm trusting you. I'm trusting you to satisfy my needs. The thing with temptation is, the reason why it looks so good is because there is a desire to fulfill physically a part, that temptation. And so when we are tempted, we have that desire. Our desire should be the Lord. Listen, one of the hardest things to do each and every day is to trust God. It can be difficult, because we look at everything around us and we say, man, I got to have that. I got to have that. Hey, what if I do this? What if I do that? And we fulfill those fleshly desires. The psalmist says, God, I'm trusting you. Don't leave my soul desolate. God, I'm trusting you to satisfy my needs, to satisfy my desires. And isn't it interesting that we read in the scriptures that if we trust the Lord, that he'll give us the desires of our heart. And so simply trust God. Hey, don't fall into the trap of worldly temptation. and what the world has to offer. Man, it looks good, but nothing could be further from the truth. Just simply trust God. Verse number 9. Keep me from the snares which they have laid for me. That's a reference to the temptations and the gins of the workers of iniquity. The gins could be another reference to snares, traps, and so on. He's saying, God, give me victory over those traps. He says, let the wicked fall into their own nets, whilst that I withal escape. And praying for that escape from temptation, asking the Lord to provide that way of escape. And I would say this, God always provides a way of escape. It does not mean that the escape is easy. I think of Joseph when Potiphar's wife is tempting him. And what does he do? He runs. And what are the consequences because he ran from that temptation? Jail. And so the way of escape was not easy, but God provided that way of escape for him. And God provided for him in the midst of it. And so I want to encourage you, when temptation rears its ugly head, maybe I shouldn't say ugly, when it looks good and the temptation is to trust it, to fall into it, hey, run to the Lord and say, God, give me victory over the traps, the snares, the temptation that is here. God, I want to live for you. Give me victory over these temptations, and God will provide that way of escape. All right, gonna leave you those thoughts here from Psalm 141. We're getting down to the end of the Psalms here, and so I'm praying about where God would have us to go next. And if you've got something that maybe, and maybe I should be careful about this, you say, hey, why don't we look at this book in the Bible? Why don't we study this out? Hey, I'm open to suggestions. Just warning, don't be offended if your suggestion is not used and may get used down the line. But thank you so much for being on live. Those who are watching live this morning, and then throughout the rest of the day as you watch and participate. Thank you so much for watching, liking, sharing. Thank you for all the comments even this morning. And be sure to like and share and then comment throughout the day as well. Hope to see you tonight for our missions conference as we have day number 2, and looking forward to the missionary family that we have with us even tonight. Let me give a few shout outs here. Good morning, Jody. Greetings to you. Ingrid, just down the hall. Greetings to you as well. Good morning. Cliff and Karen, thank you so much for being on. And Stephanie got a birthday tomorrow. So let me say this, happy unbirthday today. Tomorrow will be a birthday. And continue to pray for you and the loss of your friend as well. Cliff and Karen, thank you for that second comment there. Daily prayer, God guarding our thoughts, guarding our words, and guarding our actions as well. Great thought there. Thank you for that. And then I want to also on YouTube, Sherry Rogers has commented, knew her in California. She's a part of the church out there. She's asking for prayer. She lost a child. And so be sure and be praying for Sherry Rogers as she goes through this difficult time. And Sherry, I'll be praying for you. Good morning, Barnett's, and have a wonderful day today. And Lord willing, we'll see you tonight. All right. We'll see you, everybody tonight, Lord willing, and Lord willing also tomorrow for our Power Up time. Have a wonderful day.